evening, everybody. Good evening. We have a extremely fun stream for you guys tonight. We will be going through our game week 2 of our FPL FIFA journey, where we pair off the AIs in FIFA and let them play and see how our team comes out at the end of it. So basically, every single week, we let all the AI teams play against each other. That will be playing this weekend. And the player on our team that has the worst rating gets dropped and gets transferred in the player who has the highest rating. The only players who are exempt from this will be the goalkeepers, as we cannot be changing them week in and week out. So on the screen, what you can see here is our current team that was created by FIFA in game week 1. And we didn't do too great, not going to lie. We ended up on a 54 points for game week 1. And we had Pickford starting in goal, alongside in defense, Ben White, Robertson, Diaz, and Dallo. Along in the midfield, Bailey, Salah, Pereira, Son, and Lingard, and Watkins, and Kane, and I think Andreas was on the bench. So that was the team that was created in game week 1. We do still have 1.5 million in the bank, so we can upgrade one of our players quite nicely, either move Andreas up in the midfield, even though he played fantastically against Liverpool in game week 1. Otherwise, we can upgrade Lingard to a higher rated midfielder, or potentially we can upgrade Dallo or Ben White to a more expensive defender, or even Watkins up to Nunes potentially. So let's have a look. Let's dive right into it, and let's get going with the games for this evening. It's going to be an absolute banger that is going to happen. So we're going to swap on over, and the first game for tonight, coming right up, we do have Aston Villa up against Everton. It is the first game of this weekend, and I think it is going to be an absolute banger of a game. So let's sit back and enjoy, as we always do, week in and week out. And while you are here, please make sure to smash the like button. And we are going to let these two teams grind it out. So basically, as we've stated, we do let the AIs play it out and just basically let the game go. And based off of the results, I either get a terrible transfer into my team, or I get a fantastic transfer into my team. So let's see how it goes and enjoy the game. So first up, we do obviously have a Everton up against Aston Villa. And team news over here, I do obviously have Watkins and Bailey. I see Bailey and Watkins are playing in this game, and I do have Pickford in goals and Patterson in defense, even though I'm not sure that Patterson will actually be playing. So let's see how this game goes. It's going to be a fantastic watch. So player to watch, Leon Bailey up first. Very excited for this one. Just want to check out the scores over here. I'm not sure why it does not want to actually skip the walkthrough in the beginning of the game. It usually does all the time. You may just need to have a look at that. What I think I'm going to actually do is Okay, well, let's give it some time. Let this run and see how this game goes. We do have Pickford there in goal. I don't think Patterson is playing, but he is one of my bench players regardless of the fact. In goal for Aston Villa, and defensive lineup, pretty decent, pretty solid. Nice midfield there. Coutinho's a nice one to keep an eye on. Ollie Watkins up top, and Bailey on the side. No one really on the bench that I'm very keen to look at. Pickford in goal, obviously. Patterson not on the pitch, but the new boy Connor Cody is on the pitch, so someone to watch out for. Calvert-Lewin back in the starting lineup, another player to keep an eye on. And Damari Gray actually starting up top ahead of Calvert-Lewin. So let's get this game going. All right, so Everton kicking off, playing in blue from right to left, and Aston Villa playing in maroon and white, playing from left to right. We do have Dele Alli on the ball first up. So obviously players that I'll be keeping an eye out on in this game will be Pickford in goal, as he is my goalkeeper. However, he will not be swapped. He will only be swapped in wild card. So unfortunately, well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it might be a nice one for me over a couple of weeks to have Pickford in goal, but I'm stuck with Pickford basically in goal. I don't have a choice. That is what FIFA decided until the first wild card. So we do obviously have Everton here playing quite deep on the ball. We do see Connor Cody, the new boy, in the starting lineup immediately for Everton over here. Michaelenko out on left back. And we do have the first attack here with Damari Gray taking out Cash. But Dominic Calvert-Lewin is not in the box. I don't know. Maybe he's still on injury duty or something. But decent covering tackle there from Matty Cash after he was walked past by Damari Gray. We do have Townsend on the ball. Is Townsend going to smack it with his right? No, he rolls it off, and it is well cleared by Mings. So far, 14 minutes gone in the first game of the evening. If you are new here and you don't know what we are doing, this is a FPL team that is completely designed and defined by FIFA. So it depends on how the players, and a nice through ball. Dele Alli on the ball, and he gets driven wide. Nice defending there by Diego Carlos, but he pulls it back, and we have the first goal of the evening. It is Damari Gray with an assist from Dele Alli, and it is 1-0 to Everton. So far, so good for the Everton boys. Not looking too great. I don't personally want Damari Gray in my team. And obviously, because we only swap out one player because we are into game week 2 already, we are not going to be sitting with a situation of me transferring out multiple. So it's probably going to take a solid 10 rating in order for a player to make it into our team. But so far, decent for the Everton boys. From an Aston Villa point of view, I obviously do have Bailey and Watkins that I'll be keeping an eye on. But we do have a 1-0 first up, Damari Gray with the goal with the Dele Alli assist. So neither player I personally want in my FPL team. So hoping that this is not how the game ends. And I'm hoping Bailey and Watkins can stay in my team. I think they're decent assets. So let's see here. We got an attack. Nice attack up here. Ollie Watkins on the ball. A little bit of skill, but great tackle by new boy Cody. Over the ball comes back and gets recycled. Bailey loses out there to Doucouré. And Damari Gray on the ball again. Doucouré making the run forward. Nice little run out wide there by Townsend. Townsend attacking the wide areas, and great tackle by Mings. Mings not doing too bad. So far they are 1-0 down. However, it came from the other side. Diego Carlos' side. Douglas Luiz on the ball here, looking for Bundia. Bundia looking in field, giving it to McGinn. McGinn finding Watkins. What's going to happen here? Bundia looking. Bailey's out wide. Bundia holds the ball and loses it. Okay, so 33 minutes gone in the first game, and we do have a Everton 1-0, and they're on the attack again. Damari Gray again, past Matty Cash, but Douglas Luiz does well. Very well there. Coutinho with a terrible through ball, and Michaelenko rushes up, but he's got the ball back due to some terrible defending by new boy Connor Cody. Bundia taking Michaelenko, and fantastic tackle there. Absolutely brilliant tackle in the middle of the park. Everton so far dominating the first half. No shots yet from Aston Villa. So far, it's looking like Everton is going to rule the day over here, but we'll see obviously what happens in the second half. Got Calvert-Lewin on the ball again. Damari Gray's looking dangerous here against Matty Cash, making Matty Cash look silly almost. But Matty Cash does well makes me sound like a fool, and comes away with the ball. And can there be a break on? The ball hasn't gone out to Bailey at all, which is not very good for me, because that could end up with me not having Bailey at the end of the half. So let's see how this one goes. It is halftime. We do have a Damari Gray goal at on the 19 minutes mark. First half done, and we do have the halftime up and running. So let's get in at halftime and see what happens here. But so far, Watkins, Bailey, Pickford, and Patterson are obviously my 4 players in my 15 that are playing here. So let's see what exactly happens in the second half. Just awaiting the second half to get started, and then we will check that out. All right, so just having a look at the match stats, 35% to 65%. Definitely Everton coming away with the possession. And let's get going straight into the second half. All right, and we kick off with Aston Villa on the ball, playing from right to left, looking early out for Bailey. Bailey's first chance on the ball, gives it in. Watkins do? Watkins rolls it back, goes to Coutinho. Coutinho with a horrible pass. Coutinho's been shocking in this game so far. Alan on the ball, gives it out to Damari Gray, finds Calvert-Lewin in the center, back to Damari Gray, back to Calvert-Lewin, and a fantastic tackle again by Tyrone Mings. However, they recover the ball quickly through Allen. He finds it into, and unlucky, cannot find Townsend, and Medicash comes away with the ball, looking for John McGinn in the center of the park. Ollie Watkins dropping deep, Bailey out on the run on the right, or on the left, and he gets found, but with a shocking pass there by Ollie Watkins, if we can be honest. And Doucouré mops up in the middle of the park. Terrible step up there from Digne. Townsend taking on Digne, but Digne does all right, and I think he has indeed won a goal kick. Martinez with the first goal kick of the game. There's been no corners in this game yet. So let us get this game going. All right. And then we have a substitution. Andros Townsend coming off, and Alex Iwobi coming on for Everton. Talk about an impact sub of note. Man is a demon. Right. So we will check now. We are into the 57th minute, going on 60 minutes. And it is still 1-0 to Everton. And here's Coutinho feeding Watkins. Bailey, and that's a horrible pass out and well cut out by the Everton right back. And the ball goes up the other end. Calvert-Lewin doing well to hold it up. We've got Doucouré on the ball. Doucouré finding Alex Iwobi, back to Calvert-Lewin, back to Iwobi, back to Calvert-Lewin, and well cut out by Tyrone Mings. And John McGinn comes away. Can Aston Villa mount an attack here? Ollie Watkins is slightly, and Coutinho loses the ball. I swear Coutinho's been the worst player on the pitch so far. Doucouré with a wonderful switch out to the goal scorer, Damari Gray. Calvert-Lewin doing very well, but Digne reads it well and cuts it out, and Mings gets the ball out. So far, not looking too good for my two Aston Villa boys, Watkins and Bailey. None of them really doing much. Douglas Luiz back to Watkins, back to Bailey. What can Bailey do over here? He cuts inside, he gives the ball in. Watkins back. Bundy, Coutinho. I don't know. Was that an own goal? Did Coutinho get the goal there? I think Coutinho got the goal, but what an absolute shambles of a goal that was, and the little celebration goes on. Absolutely fantastic there. My goodness, what a little scoop turn. Comes back off. It definitely is a Coutinho goal. So he's been horrible this whole game. But he does come up with the goal, and that's what the best players do. So well done to him. Fantastic little bit of skill there in the box. And he makes it 1-1. So there goes my clean sheet for my keeper. But it is 1-1. None of my players involved in the goal, just involved in the build-up. to the goal, so maybe they'll get some points for that. But let's see, they're on the attack again here. Coutinho out. Ball comes back into Coutinho, finds John McGinn. Ball goes out to Bundia, and well defended there by, I don't even know, I think that was Connor Cody with a fantastic bit of defending over there. So Connor Cody's looked brilliant since he's been, this is his first game, obviously, for Everton, signed earlier in the week. And he's looked absolutely fantastic. But yeah, we have an Everton attack with Alex Iwobi on the ball up against Digne. Digne does force him wide, but Alex Iwobi and Digne does well. Digne does fantastically well to quell the outlet, and Bailey gets them upfield. Watkins pushing it wide, back into Watkins' feet. He's got Coutinho. Bailey making the run. Bailey on the ball. What can Bailey do here? Bailey up against Coleman. Coleman holds him up well. But the heel to heel. Bailey puts it in field and gives it straight to Alan. So not looking very good for me with regards to Bailey on the ball. Not going to lie, but great tackle there by John McGinn. And he forces the ball out wide. Is he going to get the ball back? He does indeed get the ball back. And he's looking for Bailey, but his pass does not have enough meat on that. And Alan comes away and secures, but he gives it right back. And Bailey gives the ball to Watkins. And fantastic tackle, covering tackle there. And we have the first corner of the game in the dying minutes over here, where we just watch Coutinho's goal again to make it 1-1. But Bailey with the corner, literally probably the last kick of the game. And somebody's decided to make a substitution. It is Benitez bringing on Onana, what's my name, and Dele Alli takes his leave with his assist in the first half. But Bailey comes here with the corner kick. He sends it in, and it's straight on to Iwobi's head. And they've recovered the ball. Watkins out to Coutinho. Coutinho to Bundia. Bundia back to Douglas Luiz. Doesn't have an option. Douglas Luiz drives into the box, but he still doesn't have an option. And Onana sees the ball out, and that will be the game. That'll be the game. So we do have a end in sight over here, and we are going to go and have a look at, I'm not sure why the buttons, for some other reason, don't seem to be functioning correctly. But let's get to the end. It's going to ask us, do we want to go to extra time or golden goal? We're obviously just going to end the game as a draw as soon as the options do present themselves. I'm not entirely sure why it's giving us issues with regards to the options. It was not doing this last week, so I do apologize. But we'll hopefully get that sorted very, very, very soon. All right, so we just want to get to the, have a look at our player ratings and see who shone, who didn't. At the end of this half. All right, so let us have a look. So we're going to end the match as a draw, and we are going to go in and have a look at the player performance. All right, so in terms of, let's start with our specific players. So we do have the likes of Pickford with a 6.4 rating. We do not have, I don't think Patterson came on at all. I don't even think he's actually in the squad for today's game. So Patterson with a solid 0 over there. However, Patterson mostly is one of our holding, sort of our bench players, just to keep budget in the specific team. And let's go over to our boys in Leon Bailey with a 6.8. So not a fantastic rating for Bailey. And Ollie Watkins coming in with a 7.2. I'm not sure if those two scores will warrant a swap out for them in our team. However, we do have a look at the best player in this game outside of our two, it is pretty clear that Coutinho takes it with an 8.1. Right, so Coutinho probably being a potential transfer in. Not a bad potential transfer in, if I can be very honest with you guys. Not bad at all. We're just going to update our players' scores over here. So we had Pickford at a 6.4. We had Patterson, who didn't even make an appearance, coming in with a 0. Watkins with a 7.2. And Bailey comes away with a 6.8. So not fantastic from Bailey, Pickford, or Watkins. So not looking too great for our team in the first match up. However, so far so good. And we jump across to our team over here, and we can see our player ratings on the pitch. And we are going to jump into our second game of the evening. And I'm going to attempt to restart with different teams. And we are going to go into our second game, which just happens to be Arsenal up against, who they're playing. They are playing Leicester City this weekend. Brand new kits. Let's get them going. Just want to check out the controller settings if you guys do not mind. Keyboard and mouse. Okay. All right. Just wanted to swap and see if I can get it onto my actual controller, but for some other reason it does not seem to want to accept my controller. So not having the great technical night, but we're gonna have fun with FIFA regardless. So I don't even, I cannot, literally, I don't even think that anybody who plays with a mouse, who on earth plays with a mouse in FIFA? That's a farce note, if there was one, to be honest with you. So let's get into our second game of the evening. So the one player that we are obviously keeping an eye on was Coutinho. And in this game, we do have a couple of our players playing. We do have Ben White lining up for Arsenal. He is our only Arsenal player, funny enough. So I'm pretty sure that I'll be keeping an eye on quite a few of the Arsenal lads here. Team looks decent. It really does look decent. So just going to keep an eye on a couple of the Arsenal lads over here. And in terms of Leicester City, I do not think I have anybody from Leicester City. Oh, yes, I've got Ward, the goalkeeper for Leicester, but we'll see if he's actually starting. I see Gabriel Jesus is starting, obviously somebody to keep an eye on in order potentially for Ollie Watkins. So Watkins didn't do fantastically well in the last game. I don't know why Jesus is starting me a CDM role. Something's gone funky over there. So in Leicester, Danny Ward, there we go. Okay, so our goalkeeper is actually playing. So basically, if he does better than Pickford 6.4, then he's going to be in our starting lineup for this weekend. Right, Patson Daka starting up top before Jamie Vardy. I see Dewsbury Hall on the bench. So very, very interesting team lineups. But extremely excited for this one. I'm keen to see a couple of the Arsenal lads. Saka is a great one to keep an eye on. So at the moment, the player to beat is Coutinho at an 8.1. So let's go. So playing from left to right, we do have Arsenal in the red. And from right to left, we do have Leicester in blue with the white shorts. All right, so a couple of players in here. The goalkeeper from Leicester is in my team, as well as Ben White, the defender from Arsenal. Jesus on the ball. Jesus. Saka on the ball. Well defended there by Tielemans. Tielemans helping to go back. I don't know why Man United are not looking at Yuri Tielemans, to be honest. I mean, apparently he's available for a very reasonable price. I think he would be an absolute stellar signing for Man United, considering the difficulties that they're having signing anyone else. So, but we've got an attack on here with Ayozo Perez taking on Zinchenko. Perez and Patson Daka with the goal. Patson Daka packs it away for Leicester, and that puts Leicester 1-0 up. Obviously not looking so good for my goalkeeper. Sorry, not for my goalkeeper, for my centre-back in Ben White at this present point in time, losing his clean sheet so early on in the game. However, a goal for Patson Daka with a brilliant run at Zinchenko by Ayozo Perez, and Brendan Rodgers is celebrating on the sideline. Maybe he'll make no substitutions again for the entire game, even though he's got 5, and end up losing because the guys don't have the fitness. But who knows? Let's see. But we do kick off again, and we've got a bit of movement around. Odegaard on the ball, finding Xhaka. Xhaka feeds it in to Saka. Saka out to Jesus. Jesus almost runs it out for a corner, for a goal kick. Jesus does brilliantly. He's still going. Little cross. Saka can't get on the end of it. And Leicester come away with it beautifully. And Barnes is running on the outside. Maddison finds Patson Daka. Daka finding Barnes again. Maddison on the overlap. Maddison finding Ayozo Perez, who holds it up well against Gabriel, and Zinchenko does well to clear the ball. But Daka, oh my goodness, we have to. It is 2-0. And I have just realized that we had our screen, so now you guys can have a beautiful Ayozo Perez celebration. Our screen hadn't actually switched, so we were still on our team reveal screen with our rankings. But here we go. We have a 2-0, and check this beautiful save attempt. You can't not love FIFA. You just cannot not love FIFA with absolute scenes like that when a goalkeeper does nonsense like that. So here we are, 23 minutes into our second game of the evening, and it is 2-0. If you have just joined us, we do this every week. It is our FPL FIFA team where we let the two AI teams play against each other with the expected lineups for the weekend. And we let the two AI teams play against each other, and that determines the players that we put on the pitch. So obviously with game week 1, we had to do it for all 15 players, whereas from game week 2 onwards, before any wild card does get played, we basically only one player. So the worst player in our team gets dropped out, and the best player within that price bracket is then brought in to replace. So in the first game, the player that did stand out was Coutinho, scoring an 8.1 for Aston Villa. So he is currently on our transfer watch list. And as of right now, it looks like we might be having a couple of players from Leicester on our transfer watch list, which wasn't what I was hoping for. I was obviously hoping for some of the Arsenal boys to shine. Jesus, because I don't have Jesus in my team. I was hoping for Zinchenko to shine, but not looking so good for him. He's getting beaten every single time they come at him. Maybe if Maddison shines, I'd be ecstatic if I could get Maddison in my team. But yeah, so here we see a bit of a slow day at the office for Saka playing up top for Arsenal. So not looking so good for Arsenal at this present point in time, and not looking too good for my team, to be honest, because we've got Patson Daka, who is shining in this first half. However, I don't think his expected minutes are that great. So we will obviously take that into account when we do have a look. But we do have Xhaka over a free kick here, 41 minutes gone, 2-0 up to Leicester away from home at Arsenal. Probably the most Arsenal/Spursy, probably North London-y thing to do. You play well and a week and everyone gets excited by your team, and then suddenly you go and do something stupid like this. So FIFA's not too far off, but we do have John Barnes. Listen to me. We do have Harvey Barnes tearing down the left-hand side of the pitch. However, it gets well cleared, and he's back on the ball. Madison here. If Madison powers in a 30-yard banger, I'll be extremely happy, because I'd be happy to have Madison in my team. So, and that will be the first half. So we're just going to let these scenes play out. And Ayozo Perez with one of the goals in the first half. I really don't want him in my team, to be honest with you. And Patsandaka with the second. I don't really want him in my team either. But we'll see if that's what the future holds for FPL FIFA, then that's what the future holds. But hoping for a big performance from the likes of Madison in the second half, as well as Jesus. Potentially, I'd be happy to get Jesus in. Odegaard, not too bad. Martinelli has, I don't know. I don't even think he's on the pitch. I think Emil Smith-Rowe is playing, to be honest. So, not looking too great at this present point in time. And I think Patsandaka actually got the assist for Perez as well. And Ramsdale with his, what can we call that? Because it's not an attempted save. Yeah. But if we just have a look over here, we can see Arsenal haven't even managed a single shot against Leicester City. Yeah, 51 to 49%, but 1.9 expected goals to 0, and it runs at a 2-0. So let's get it going in the second half. Second half kickoff. Can Arsenal come back? Can the players that I really want in my team help me out here and pull off a solid? Madison, you need to get on the ball, bro. I need to get you. Madison or Jesus, I'll be extremely happy with either one of you two. But like we said, currently now on our watch list, we do have Coutinho at an 8.1 rating. And our players that have played so far, Bailey with a 6.8 and Ollie Watkins with a 7.2. So not looking too good for those two. One of those two could potentially be one of my signings. But Saka out here to Emil Smith-Rowe. What can Smith-Rowe do? He can do absolutely nothing against Pereira. Come on. Come on. It's time to bring on Martinelli. Martinelli comes on and wins a hat-trick. Who would not be happy with that? And here we've got Patsandaka again, but he finds Madison. Madison makes it 3. Madison makes it 3. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Matters. I would be very happy if I was forced to transfer in Matters in this game week, even if I had to take out one of my other players. So, but again, Patsandaka coming in with the assist. However, we will obviously take into account expected minutes before we do the transfer, because it would be stupid transferring in players who don't even play. So we'll be taking them all down and checking the expected minutes and then transferring the player in accordingly. But Arsenal not looking good at the moment. 3-0 down. Jesus on the ball and gives it away. So Yonchu. But the ball goes back and comes back infield to Xhaka. Can he find Saka? Saka attempts to make the run. Odegaard loses the ball. Tielemans mops up. And our alternative keeper, obviously, is another one to keep an eye on. Danny Ward playing over here, keeping a clean sheet after 63 minutes. We had Pickford in the first game. Pickford didn't keep a clean sheet, ended up on a 6.4 rating. So if Ward keeps a clean sheet here, there's a very good chance that I have to start Ward ahead of Pickford. So that should be a fun. But Matters on the ball. Matters on the ball. And well defended there by Ben White. I see Tomiyasu's made his way back into the team this week. Tomiyasu on the right and Ben White playing in the centre back role. Gives it out to Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes tries to take on Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu does well. Gives it back to Ben White, who's just running around for fun and gives a stupid ball to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu's immediately under pressure. And Ben White pumps the ball upfield to no avail. Tielemans on the ball, doing extremely well as he always does. Man United, please sign him. And ball comes to Xhaka. Back in field. Odegaard looking to try and pick up some space. Ball has to go back. White on the ball under severe pressure. Gabriel. Should be Saliba actually starting at the centre back role over here. They maybe wouldn't be losing 3-0 here, would they? Got Jesus on the ball. Jesus tries something, but well cleared. Well cleared. Tielemans unfortunately loses the ball in the midfield. Emil Smith-Rowe running at Pereira. Beats Pereira heel to heel. Tries to roll Sionchu. Keeps him, holds him up. And Saka attempts. Odegaard unfortunately loses the ball. And Perez comes away. 83 minutes gone. And this ball is powering upfield. But watch Harvey Barnes on the left-hand side of the field. But Ayoze Perez loses out and just does a random ball roll. And looks like he's going to lose the ball for no purpose. For no purpose. You know why? It's because Brendan Rodgers doesn't know how to make substitutions. I think he's forgotten. We would have liked to see Dewsbury Hall. We would have liked to see Jamie Vardy. But no. Brendan Rodgers says no. Very, very depressing. Saka, though, with the ball. Can he do anything? Last kick of the game. And that is it. My alternative keeper, Danny Ward, keeps a clean sheet. Hold thumbs for a decent rating. For matters of extremely happy. Or an alti rating with that. So we're just going to let the game roll up. We do have, as I said, Danny Ward in goal that we'd need to check. James Maddison, hopefully man of the match. Matters was on the ball everywhere, in and around the box. And that's how it ends. 3-0 to Leicester with goals from Daka, Perez and Maddison. I do think Daka will come away with the man of the match award. But like we said, his expected minutes are extremely low. And we're not going to, ruin the team for expected minutes. So we will take that into account when having a look. Okay, so we're just going to let the final little playbacks air out. And then we are going to end up. All right. Okay, so we're going to go straight into our player performances. We're going to go and check out, and there we go. As expected, we do have Daka with the 10. So we're going to just mark these down. Daka with a 10. Perez with a 10 as well. That's not going to be good for me. And Maddison with an 8.9. So already Coutinho will be off the option list because Maddison will come in at the same price bracket as well. I just need to check the expected minutes on Perez and see where he comes in. Let's have a look. Danny Ward with a 6.6, which means that Danny Ward is actually going to be starting for us this weekend. And let's head on over and go and have a look at the likes of our defender, and he comes away with a 6.3 rating. So not too good, and so far the worst player, which means no matter how badly I would like the likes of Maddison or anything like that, it ain't going to happen because Ben White is so far the worst rated player on my team, which means Bailey and Watkins are safe to see out another week. And Ben White at the moment has his head on the chopping block. And who is it going to be? We're going to have to start keeping an eye out for some defenders to come in here, because otherwise we are going to be in a little bit of trouble. So at this present point in time, Ben White will be the one leaving us. And let's just see how that goes. So we're just going to do our restart with different teams. But while we wait for that to load, we are going to just jump back over and we're going to enter in our rankings. So Ward comes away with a 6.6. Ben White with a horrific 6.3 rating. Not good. not good at all. And so far, he is the one that is looking like the one that could go. So obviously we've got a lot more games to play. 8 more games still to go in this. But so far, so good. You can see over there, Ward coming in with a 6.6, which means he will be our starting keeper for this coming game week 2. And it is Bailey and Watkins that will be saved by the horrific performance of Ben White coming in with a rating of 6.3. So far, Ben White is on the chopping block for our team. Obviously, a lot of games still to go. And we are going to dive into the next game, which is going to be, let's have a look here. We are going to go with the next one being Brighton and Newcastle. A couple of good players there. Bruno Gomes playing there. That should be a decent player to watch. Brighton, obviously, a fantastic team. Let's go, you know what, honorary Saudi Arabia team. So let's go with the Saudi kit. And we are going to jump back over to the gameplay. And I was actually laughing about this just now. I don't know who on earth plays FIFA with a mouse. Fantastic. So let's get going in this game. And let's check out the lineup. So we do have in our third game of the evening, Brighton versus Newcastle. And we do have a decent start. So playing from right to left, we do have Newcastle in the Saudi kit, the white and green. And playing from left to right, we do have Brighton in the blue and white kit. And a decent start here. Joe Linton on the ball. Nice player to watch. Keep an eye on here. St. Maximin, always tricky. What can he do against this well-drilled Brighton defense? And he can do nothing. He can do nothing. All right, so checking at the lineups, we do have Sanchez in goal, Lamptey, Feldman, Duncan, Webster, Trossard, Mwepu, McAllister, Lallana, Welbeck, and Mope. On the bench, we do have Pascal Gross, Caicedo, Moda, Adingra, March, Balucha, and Steele. So that's the Brighton team, looking quite decent. Pascal Gross on the bench, quite a surprise. We do have for Newcastle, Pope in goal, Trippier, Botman, Burn, Target, Almiron, Gumersh, Shelby, Joelinton, and we've got a chance here, and we have a first goal. It is none other than Saint Maximin. Not a bad player. Wouldn't mind having him in my team, to be very honest with you. His price point is nice and low, so that would be a great one. However, the only problem that we do have at this present point in time is that our current worst player on the pitch is a defender in Ben White. So not too great in terms of that, but we do see a fantastic goal there by Alan St. Maximin to get the game going. So Brighton down nice and early, 13 minutes in, something Man United could not do. And Newcastle capitalized on a fantastic move over there. And we do have Danny Welbeck on the ball. Looking, Mwepu finds McAllister. McAllister rolls it and well defended. And Pope sticks a size 12 boot straight through the middle of the ball. But it barely gets up to the halfway line. Yeah, we've got a chance at Danny Welbeck. Danny Welbeck with the left-footed finish into the top corner. Absolute banger of a shot. Wow, that was a smack. That was an absolute smack. Who got the assist there? I think Mope actually got the assist over there. But Nick Pope beaten nice and early, and Danny Welbeck plants that ball into the back of the net. Absolutely fantastic finish over there, and makes it 1-1. 20 minutes gone, 1-1. Nice high-scoring game coming, I do think. Joe Linton on the ball. And we've got a foul. Wood gets fouled. I'm hoping Jolinton actually gave the assist for that the first goal. I didn't actually see who did give the assist, but nicely cleared out by Dunk over there. But Newcastle come away with the ball. I don't know what that was. Ref just kind of gave a foul for nothing, but we'll take it. Lewis Dunk standing over it. Gives it in. Webster. Out to Mwepu. Mwepu into Lallana. First time I've seen Bruno on the ball. He's been very quiet. He ran the show last week for Newcastle, if you guys were here watching. Fantastic tackle there by Danny Welbeck. He's been brilliant, and he scored a goal already. So, player to keep an eye on. Obviously, we do have the 1.5 million in the bank, and Welbeck goes and shifts outside the outside of Nick Pope's post. Goodness. A lot further than it looked, but decent attempt nonetheless. Welbeck with his tail up, as they say. But like I was saying, we do have 1.5 in the bank. So with Ben White's dismal performance in the last game, coming in with a rating of 6.3, and the lowest player that has played so far for us, looks like he is currently on his way out, unless somebody does worse than him, which is possible. But with that 1.5 in the bank, I would obviously be able to take Ben White up to a 6 mil defender, the likes of Reece James and things like that. So it's not a bad thing that I could upgrade my defense that little bit more. I'll never complain about that. So it's good to keep an eye on. But so far at the moment, looks like Bailey and Watkins are safe. The only time that those two will not be safe is in the event of none of the other defenders performing as well as them. So let's see how it goes. Chris Wood up with the ball, moving like a truck. But we do have Bruno Gomes on the ball. Jolinton loses the ball out, and it is almost half time. Welbeck doing pretty well in this game. And we do have what should be, hopefully, the second half coming up soon. So it is 1-1 at a halftime over here in the Brighton versus Newcastle game. Trippier, I forgot, is on the pitch. But obviously with the 1-1, not looking good for a clean sheet from that perspective. But fantastic piece of work there by St. Maximin that we saw. And Eddie Howe with the huge celebration. But then Danny Welbeck comes back with a banger of a goal. Left boot, puts his laces through it, and Nick Pope is absolutely beaten at his near post, and Welbeck goes up for the celebration. The best Man United player on the pitch last week, may I just add. Yeah, I know it's a bad joke, but you guys get it. You guys get it. All right, so that made half time in this game. We do have a 1-1 and coming out into the second half. Let's see how it goes. I'm hoping maybe for one of the defenders to push forward and get an assist. As we said, Ben White being our worst player so far this evening, coming in with a rating of 6.3. The other surprise that we do have to start with Danny Ward over Jordan Pickford in game week 2. Ward coming in with a 6.6 rating and keeping a clean sheet against Arsenal in the previous game, and Pickford coming away with a 6.4 rating. So at this present point in time, we do have at least our goalkeeper picked for who's going to start, and well cleaned out there. Back, fantastic tackle there. I don't know who that was, but fantastic tackle by Newcastle there in the box. Keeps the clean sheet up. But there's a great attack on here. Joe Linton, and he cannot find St. Maximin, and Brighton come away with the ball, but they clear it up through Trippier, Shelvey into Ward, but Dunk does extremely well to clear the ball, and Mwepu comes away with it on the right-hand side of the pitch. So 60 minutes gone, 1-1, but not for chances on either side of the pitch. So far, so good. We do have Welbeck coming in here, and Welbeck cannot find, but Bruno Gomes runs away with the ball, feeds out Wood. Wood finds Shelvey. No real options. Joe Linton arriving late. Check how far up Bruno is. Bruno Gomes, what can he do? Too much. What's he going to do? He botches it. That's what he does. He botches it. And we end up with a very unwelcomed goal kick. Let me just add, extremely unwelcomed goal kick. Not happy. I would have loved to get Bruno into my team. But here we see, I think it was Joe Linton going off and Joe Willock coming on. Lallana leaving the field for Brighton, and Belucha coming on to the pitch. But Bruno Gomes could have sunk that ball away, and he could have been on our potential transfer list for this week. We do obviously have a lot of players still to play, but also a lot of big name players to still play. Here is Mope on the ball, finding Mwepu. Mwepu with the heel-to-heel pull back. Mwepu, what's he going to do? Unfortunately, they lose the ball. Newcastle come away with the ball, and here's Bruno Gomes again with the ball. Fantastic player. Yes, check out the position he picks up. He's ahead of Wood all the time. Fantastic play there by St. Max. Can he find somebody? Can St. Max find somebody? He finds Bruno. Bruno in. I swear we just had an interception for an attempt on goal by a Newcastle player from a Newcastle player shot. And we've got a breakaway here for Brighton. Can somebody win this? 78 minutes gone. Game is currently sitting at 1-1. And it doesn't look like anybody actually wants to win this one. But let's see. A couple of minutes here is a nice break. Can he cut inside? Can he cut in? Joe Willock with the pullback. Finds Bruno Gomes. And he just cannot get the shots away. Have you seen the positions this man is picking up? It's unbelievable. And Chris Wood goes with a beautiful inside of the foot shot. And he's running to the halfway line. This man is on a celebration trail. Goes and gives Eddie Howe a hug. And Lascelles is chilling on the sideline there, waiting for hugs as well. Great little ball infield there. I'm not sure who exactly that was that played it infield, but fantastic finish there, I would. Brilliant finish, actually. Under a bit of pressure. And Graham Potter throws his hands up in the air, saying that's not how I told you to play. But Newcastle come away with the goal 83 minutes in, and Newcastle are 2-1 up here against Brighton. So this should make for a fantastic grandstand finish, as they say. Let's see if Brighton can push to get another one. But so far, Newcastle, the better of the two teams. And the difference has actually been Bruno Gomes getting on the ball that little bit extra and pushing extremely high up the pitch, almost past Wood, which is pushing back the defensive line. And doing well, but we've got Mope on the ball and we know what he can do. A little bit of that, I think. That's what he's going to be doing at the end of this game. Can Newcastle see this out? They've got a minute to see it out, and this should be the game. There should be no more. Newcastle just passing the ball amongst themselves, and referee, blow the whistle, ref, and there it goes. This game ends a 2-1 to Newcastle over Brighton. And just having a quick squiz over my team over here, but I don't think that I've got any of these players in my team. So I don't need to gather down any of the stats, but what I do need to go and have a look at specifically is the defensive ratings to go and see if there's any players that will be making their way into my team, potentially making their way into my team. We've got a lot of games still to go this evening, so please do stay with us. And if you are on the stream, please do drop us a like. It would be very much appreciated while we build our FPL team. Just going to wait for the stats to pop up, and as soon as those do, we will then go and have a look. But we do see some of the goals with a little heel-to-heel by St. Max, who slots it past Sanchez at his near post. Poor defending there, if we can be honest. And followed very, very briefly thereafter by a fantastic little shot there by Welbeck. Left foot power driver past Nick Pope into the back of the net. And Graham Potter celebrates that one. And then just to add the nail into the coffin, we did have the final goal in the second half from none other than Chris Wood up top. And here it is on 83 minutes. Ball gets rolled into him. I think it was Almiron potentially with the assist. We'll have to have a look at that. And Chris Wood makes no mistake with his right boot, wrapping the ball. And the final score ends at a beautiful 2-1 in favor of Newcastle. All right. Sorry, my screen just went a little bit dodgy there. Let's go and have a look quickly at the player performances. So Chris Wood with the 9.3 rating. So we're just going to get this down quickly. Wood with a 9.3 rating. Kieran Trippier coming in here. Like we said, we need defenders because currently now with Ben White running at a 6.3, Trippier comes in at a 7.0 rating. So we're going to mark him down over here because we need to get some defenders on our list. So basically with Wood's 9.3, it's just not good enough to take out the likes of Patson Ducker from the Leicester game. So Chris Wood is going to get crossed off. Coutinho is being crossed off from the early game with Madison coming in with an 8.9 rating. Zane, hello there in the chat. Thank you for joining us for this evening. And we're going to carry down the 7 rating for Kieran Trippier. So currently now Trippier, the best rated defender this evening. And at this present point in time, Trippier will be the one replacing Ben White. However, we are only a couple of games into this evening's game. So we're going to go and restart with different teams. And while we do that, so the next game up will be Man City Bournemouth. I mean, who are we all waiting to see in this game? Of course, we're waiting to see, hey, history, how's it? We are waiting to see Haaland going up very much so against Bournemouth. Definitely keeping an eye on that one. Let's just find Bournemouth, AFC Bournemouth over here. And let's see how this game goes. But let's move on. Thoughts on Timo leaving Chelsea? Personally, I'm a huge fan of Timo Werner. Huge fan of his. I think, did he have a difficult time at Chelsea? Yeah, I think he really did have a difficult time at Chelsea. But I also don't think they played to his strengths. You know, he's literally always been a player who, you know, just ultimately shone for RB Leipzig in terms of showing his strength to the run in behind, and Chelsea just didn't play that way. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one to see. I think he's going to go back to Leipzig and he's going to do extremely well. I think he's going to go back there and score his 18 odd goals a season. I really do. And yeah, I think Chelsea's got a bit of a weird one. It's going to be interesting to see how they line up. I think they're going to end up playing so much with a false nine this season, unless they go and sign somebody. But yeah, Rudiger as well. Yeah, I think Rudiger was a big one. But saying that, let's just be very, very honest now with ourselves with Rudiger. I think Koulibaly was a fantastic signing as well, but a big loss for Chelsea with Rudiger. But I think they have done well to be able to plug that gap of Rudiger with Koulibaly. But yeah, we see Haaland going up against Bournemouth. But it's going to be interesting to see what Chelsea do up top. There is still a couple of weeks left in the window, obviously, and it's going to be interesting to see how they do. But I think they're going to end up playing with a lot of sort of a false nine, very similar to how Chelsea played quite a bit of with Firmino, where Firmino sort of drops back in as that sort of number 9 free roaming and play up with the wingers quite high up the pitch. I think that's the only way that they can play with their current team. So Nunes to get a hat-trick on Monday. If that's the case, I seriously hope that I have some divine intervention and decide to put Nunes in my fantasy team. Or alternatively, when the Liverpool game plays over here, and if he does well, there's a good chance that he could be slotted into our FIFA FPL team. So be interesting to see. But you know, I'm a big Man United fan, which is sad to say, and whatnot. But the one guy wanted to, and we've got the first shot, and we already have a goal for Haaland over here. Just about to say, almost Gundogan almost with the goal, but Haaland goes and celebrates directly in the camera with the first goal. But yeah, so somebody wanted to make a bet with me that Nunes was, because we were laughing with the finishing videos. No room for Man United. Yeah, no, there's no room at the moment. Let me just tell you something. But yeah, and we were chatting and laughing about the Nunes finishing videos that everybody knows about. And, the one guy said to me, no, I'll bet him that Nunes will score more than 20 goals in the season. And I said to him, of course he's going to score. I think he wanted 18 goals or something along those lines, or 15 or something ridiculous. I said to him, but of course he's going to. He's still going to miss a lot. But the difference is he's playing for a team with players that are going to create, that are going to just keep putting the ball in the right place. And his job is just to be in the right place. And we saw it the other day. He came on, he changed the game for Liverpool. I mean, completely changed the game, because suddenly Liverpool had a striker forcing back the Fulham line, and he just opened up the space. And, first attempt, yeah, he could have done a lot better with it, but he didn't. And ball ended up in the keeper's hands. But what happens? The next chance comes past, and he puts in the back of the net. What happens? He feeds Salah for the goal. And so potent striker, fantastic signing by Liverpool over there. And in terms of Messi, I see Messi going to retirement league, like A-League or MLS. Look, I think hell will freeze over before Messi would find himself in the A-League. MLS is a different story, because a lot of the players are getting like corporate offerings. So offerings to actually own portions of teams and stuff like that. So that's a very different setup there in the MLS. But I'm just interested to see what happens with Barcelona, because I know there's a lot of talk of Barcelona wanting to sign Messi back after next season, because they don't feel like how he ended his time. But I mean, Barcelona are just a excuse my French, but they're just a shit fest at the moment with what they're doing to football. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens over there. And Bellingham to move to another team. Bellingham will move next season. I think he'll come back to England. Personally, I see Zane says it exactly there. Liverpool fan. There's been so much talk of Bellingham already this season by a couple of a few journalists and things like that. So I think if Bellingham does come to England, I think he will end up at Liverpool, and I think Liverpool need him. You know, I was chatting. We did the watch along for the Liverpool Fulham game over the weekend. It was a hell of a lot of fun. Hey Ozzy, how's it going? You know, with Liverpool and things, and I had a look at their starting lineup, and I just saw, you know, their midfield. And I think their midfield literally was the likes of it was Henderson, Thiago, and Fabinho. And I still said, you're playing Fulham. Yes, they're away from home, but you're playing Fulham, and you don't have a progressive player in that three pivot midfield. And it showed because they literally could not get the ball. And as soon as they started to bring on the likes of Elliott and things like that, you know, the game changed in favor of Liverpool, because they actually started to get people in the box, and Nunes started to push the Fulham defense back a little bit, and that's what created the chances. So I think Liverpool do need a player like Bellingham, and I think it would be a fantastic signing for both the player and Liverpool, obviously, because I think Liverpool actually, I'm a little bit concerned. I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I'm a little bit concerned for Liverpool when I look at that midfield. I think they're slightly weak. Zane, what do you think of your midfield currently for this season? I know you've got some really nice, bright youngsters, but do you not think that, you know, if the likes of Thiago or whatnot gets injured, you might find yourself with a little bit of a issue? Ozzy, do you like FIFA 23 or not? CapCut football edit idea. You know what, Ozzy, honestly, the one thing that everyone just wants to see in terms of football is literally highlights, goal highlights. That's literally what everyone wants to see. So go out there, find either some crazy good goals from previous yesteryear, or potentially just find, you know, highlights from the week. If I personally had the time, I would probably put together some videos with all the goals from, you know, like the Premier League or whatever for the weekend into one nice edit every week, and, you know, post that, because some people can't watch all of the football games. You know, it's a lot of hours. So put something together like that, telling you now you'll get views. Even if other people are doing it, it doesn't matter. Everybody likes to just watch goals and watch highlights and things like that. So there's your idea. Go for gold, I tell you. In terms of FIFA 23, I actually don't have a beta code for 23. However, we do obviously test out some of the mods for next gen on the PC as well, which is very good. I must say, some of these guys are fantastic with the mods they put together. It's next level. It actually makes FIFA better than what EA can code. So yeah, so seen some decent changes and things. I'm a huge Pro Clubs fan. I don't know if any of you guys play Pro Clubs, but I'm a huge Pro Clubs fan. So I'm really hoping that EA put a bit of effort into Pro Clubs, because I still think that that's the best FIFA mode if you play online, especially with mates and things like that. But yeah, Fabinho is getting older. That's true. And then link to Barella, Jude, and Mateus Nunes. Mateus Nunes is a very, very interesting one. I saw quite a lot coming up of him today. Apparently Man City are interested in him as well. 50 million euros, I think, was the price quoted. But fantastic player. Honestly, I cannot tell you a player that has come out of the Portuguese league that has been a complete and utter flop in any one of the big leagues. I mean, if you guys watched the Fulham Liverpool game the other day, Polinia, the CDM that got signed to Fulham from Sporting Lisbon, he was brilliant. Yes, he had one lapse of discipline in the half, which did lead to a goal, but that's what the best teams do. But honestly, fantastic player. Vitinha looks really, really good and is going to shine at PSG. I think Mateus Nunes would be a really, really good signing for Liverpool. And I think it's a signing that they could potentially do this summer. I really do. Yeah, if we start Hendo on Monday, we lost. But yes. Ozzy, thanks so much for joining. Thanks for popping by. Appreciate you, man. Make sure you join anytime. Always here for a good laugh. When you think Zlatan will retire, you know, I don't know if you saw the pictures Zlatan posted on, I think it was Instagram 2 days ago. My God. The man posted, I think it was just his legs outstretched over there. If you looked at it, it actually like thought it was Ronaldo. The man's a beast. He played most of last season without, without tissue in by his ACL or without an ACL, something weird like that. Something only Zlatan can do. But I think, yeah, for another 2 years, I think he'll play it. I see AC Milan actually signed his 2 sons. Now this week, I think actually both of his sons actually signed for like the youth academies of AC Milan. And yeah, so I think he's kind of locked in there for another year. And if anything, you were talking about MLS earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if Zlatan actually ends up in the MLS, to be very honest with you. But I think he's 39 or I don't think he's hit 40. Maybe I'm wrong. But I know he's in and around 40 now. It's crazy. And the man, I mean, you just have a look at that picture of the Oak's legs. I mean, that's just crazy. And Jesus, just talking about FIFA over here, we do have Bournemouth celebrating an equalizer against Man City. Can you imagine how things would happen if this actually did end up going ahead on Saturday? I think everyone would be losing their minds. Everyone except History, because he did mention that he was a Man City fan. So I don't think he'd be very happy with this result if it did end up there. But yeah, I think Zlatan will definitely retire soon. And yeah, it's LA Galaxy, you're right. He was there. Scored that crazy goal on his debut. Madness. But thing is with the MLS, you know, it's these corporate deals that they're doing with these, you know, bigger players or these older, well-known players. But also he's got all of those paddle courts and things. He's a big ambassador for that paddle, tennis, squash. I don't know what it is really. Just that sport that's actually growing quite heavily. So he's obviously a massive ambassador for that, and whatnot. So maybe he'll go and focus on all of that. But I don't think he's up yet, and he's still got it in him. Can you imagine having somebody with that charisma and whatnot around the change room? I mean, that's what Man United are missing. Man United do not have somebody with that charisma. If Ronaldo has to leave Man United, I cringe. I cringe at the thought of what would happen in that dressing room. We would have the fridge standing up there complaining week in and week out about how somebody can't tie his shoes or something along those lines. So I really hope, as a Man United fan, I'm really hoping that Ronaldo does stay. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. The thing is he's tried to push a move. I mean, it's not just media made up that. We all know Ronaldo did try to push a move out, and I don't blame him. Let me be straight up honest. I don't blame him. The club is in a shambles. Our owners have just run us into the ground completely. So I'm not really looking forward to the rest of the season, but we'll see. We've got a really good manager now. I must admit, really, really good manager, and I'm hopeful, but he needs backing. He needs to be backed properly, and we need a new midfield. This McFred setup just ain't gonna work. It's not gonna cut it. It's not Premier League quality, so But let's quickly have a quick quiz here. Man City with expected goals at 3.7 versus Bournemouth 0.7, and the game ends at a 1-1. I just want to quickly grab down Ronaldo to the MLS. Yeah, there's a bit of talk about that. I mean, Ronaldo owns quite a few hotels out in America as well. His brand works out there as well. He would be a big pull for the MLS. They obviously, the fans over there are going crazy now for what they would term soccer, obviously. But yeah, so I think maybe he'd end up going there, but it would be one of those corporate deals where he owns like a team, or he buys into a team and then goes and plays. But yeah, basically trolling the team. It's exactly Maguire. That's exactly what Maguire literally does. He goes out and he trolls the team. I see new boy Neto in goal. Obviously, the Barcelona goalkeeper that's moved to Bournemouth scored an 8.0 over here. However, none of these players from Bournemouth would have done enough to get into the team. Haaland at an 8.5. Why on earth was... Okay, no, Bernardo Silva pushed further up the pitch. Ruben Diaz with Kyle Walker would have been at a right back. And I don't know who was playing. They were playing basically a 3-back over here. And Cancelo with a 6.7. So not good enough to down out Trippier, but we'll mark down the Haaland at 8.5. But I don't think it's going to be good enough to squeeze their way into our team. All right, so nothing actually from this game, which was a surprise. I thought maybe we'd be able to squeeze a Man City defender in. But yeah, quiet trolling the team. I like that. Man United to start every game. Yeah, no. I've got no words, to be honest with you. I really don't. Maguire's Maguire, to be honest with you. I don't know, when a player gets relegated with like 2 or 3 teams or whatever his record is, it's not great, to be honest with you. And that's not a player that you want at a club, you know, as a statue, especially not at the captain. I mean, it's madness. Nobody wants to sign him based on what he does. You know, that's but you know, that's the problem with Man United, is we pay people too much. Our salary cap is far too high. I think Phil Jones, for example, is sitting on 80,000 a week. 80,000 a week. Now, take it, Mane was on 120,000 a week at, or 100,000 a week at Liverpool. Phil Jones is on 80,000 a week. How on earth are Man United ever going to be able to move on the likes of Phil Jones or any of these players? Maguire is probably on, I don't know, probably 180, 200k a week, I can only imagine. How are we ever going to move on these players? Because they're not worth that amount of money. You know, so that's the big thing. That's the thing. You know, but also the sad part is, the thing with Phil Jones is he puts his heart and soul onto the pitch. You know, he really does. Like, you put his face in front of the ball. Maguire will just stand there and, you know, flick his hair every now and then. So I would rather have 11 players on the pitch that play with passion and play with heart and play for the badge than have players running out on the pitch week in and week out doing absolutely squat. So it's a bit of a difficult situation, but is what it is, I suppose, at the end of the day. But we'll see. Like I said, there's 3 weeks left of the transfer window. I'm hopeful. That's all I can be, really, to be honest with you. So just want to quickly transfer over to our team over here and just see how it has shaped up. So we did have a 6.6 rating for Ruben Diaz in the last game. So not worse than Ben White. So Ben White is still looking like our player that's going to be dropped out of our FPL team this week. But we're going to get stuck into the next game, which is Southampton and Leeds. So let's get on and go and select those, and then we will jump over to go and select the next one. So let me just get this game up and running over here. But thanks so much for joining me tonight, guys. It's always a lot of fun. And then obviously we'll be doing a watch along over the weekend. I'm going to go and watch the rugby on Saturday evening. Springboks are playing New Zealand, so it's going to be a banger of a game. I'm going to go and watch that on Saturday. So I probably won't do any Saturday watch-alongs, but I'll have a look for some games on Sunday. Chelsea-Tottenham. I'll definitely be doing Chelsea-Tottenham. And Zane, if you are around on Monday evening around 9 o'clock, obviously if you are watching the game, pop on. We'll be doing the watch-along for the Liverpool game as well. Like Norwich. Yeah. I you say things that should be a joke, that should be funny, but I can't help but agree with what you're saying. It's actually crazy. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so what's your guys' predictions for this weekend? What games are you guys looking forward to? I see with the Chelsea-Tottenham game, I'm actually looking quite forward to that. I think that's going to be an absolute banger of a game. Definitely. I think game of the weekend, to be honest with you, just having a look through the fixtures quickly. And in the Southampton-Leeds game, just quickly glancing through, I don't really have any players in my current FPL team that are from these two, so we should have a pretty straightforward game over here just to watch. Not even sure how Norwich got in the Prem. Norwich are a yo-yo team, pretty much like Fulham as well, to be honest with you. Up, down, up, down, up, down. The only difference is that they mostly keep on to their players. So when they do go down to the Championship, there's such a difference in class, to be honest, between Championship and the Prem, because the money is so much bigger. I don't know if you know, with those parachute payments. So there's parachute payments in terms of when a team gets relegated, they actually get a certain amount of money when they get relegated, so that they can, so basically that the club just doesn't, go into the steep decline and just get relegated. So they basically take their parachute payment and use that to keep on most of their players. Fulham do it well, Norwich do it well, and they basically go down with players that are good enough to get into the Prem but aren't good enough to stay up there, so they just keep yo-yoing up and down. Whereas if you have a look at the likes of Forest did not have the squad to actually get into the Prem. It was, I don't want to say it was a fluke. They played well, they deserved it, they did well in order to get up, but they've now come up into the Premier League and they've had to sign, might be wrong, but I think they've signed 12 players or something like that, because they've had to basically sign a squad for Premier League in order to compete, because their squad just was not good enough, as well as obviously losing a few players here and there, but just not good enough there. So they've done well, but they've also got a very, very rich owner, Forest as well, so they can do that. It's going to be interesting. I think Forest might have something in them to stay up, especially with the owner that they have and things like that. So yeah, those parachute payments definitely help. Jesus, and we just have a hit off the bar from Shea Adams there. My goodness, that was a banging shot. But yeah, 2-2 for the Spurs game. Yeah, I think, well, that would be I would not complain, because that would be a fantastic game to watch. I just love watching good football, to be honest with you. And that's probably why I'm watching FIFA instead of Man United highlights. But anyway, yeah, 2-2 Chelsea-Tottenham. I'd take that any day of the week. Good football over anything, I suppose, eh? Declan Rice, yeah, but he's been outpriced by West Ham. I mean, no one can afford, well, there are teams that can afford, but Declan Rice ain't 150 million. I mean, Declan Rice is he's a CDM. He's one of the few young, talented ball progressing CDMs, but I don't think anything more than 60 mil for him, to be honest. Skamaka. So Skamaka is actually really decent. Really, really decent. He's actually a very similar player in terms of stat wise to Antonio. So what's good about that is that, because we know David Moyes has a good, his team structure last year was actually very, very good. So he's now signed a player that can assist Antonio's injuries, because obviously his hamstrings are a serious problem and they caused problems for West Ham last season again. He's now signed a player who can literally just slot in and play the same way as Antonio does, attack the line, be hard, hold up the ball well, bring players into the game. You know, he's looking for that sort of a player, and he's found it in Skamaka as well. So, yeah, he's not mentioning the cat kicker. Did you guys see the game on the weekend with where Zuma the ball came in, and I don't know, I can't remember who it was that kicked the ball, but it hit Zuma in the face and like knocked him clean out onto the floor. And behind the stands, it was Man City, and the Man City fans behind the stands were busy singing there, "That's how your cat felt, mate. That's how your cat felt." So, yeah, it's something not to laugh at, but yeah, it was pretty funny to actually see that. That's karma for you right there. Knocked him clean off his feet. Let me tell you something. Oh, fantastic little shot there by Bamford, but see how this one goes. I'm hoping Bamford actually comes back. I actually really enjoy watching him play. He's quite an unorthodox striker, but very good actually. Pretty much like Ivan Toney as well. So just very unorthodox way of style of playing, but always in the right area. So always great to see. So it's actually quite funny you say with tiny arms. I was busy doing the graphics yesterday for my fantasy team, and obviously from week 1, Pickford was in my team from the FIFA results, and I was trying to find a nice little dinosaur gif just to like poke out from behind him over there. I don't know, that oak really is there's something up. He's a decent keeper. I think his positioning is fantastic. I think his positioning is really, really good, and his distribution is pretty decent. But in terms of one-on-ones or reactionary type of saves, I think his positioning helps him out a lot more than raw keeper talent as such, or things like that. So I'm not a big fan of him, but then again, I still don't know who the best England goalkeeper is, to be honest. I'm not a fan of Ramsdale at all. I think he's, you get players that are confident, and then you get players that are arrogant to a point where it's actually detrimental to their game. And I think Ramsdale is the epitome of arrogance that gets to him. I mean, if you guys watched the Arsenal game, you would have seen he was being arrogant on the ball, and he ended up, almost losing the ball and cleared the ball incorrectly, and it gave a chance over the weekend on Friday night. I think Arsenal played, and it created a good chance for who did they play? Was it? Can't remember who they played, but created a really good chance which couldn't be taken. And then next time he gets the ball back to his feet, he tries to dribble it out. So yeah, it's a bit of a craziness there, and Pickford, and then you've got the choice of Ramsdale as well. I don't know. Nick Pope potentially, keeper for England, things like that. But I don't rate Pickford in the top three keepers in the league. Definitely not. Everton, yeah, I, yeah. I think old Fat Frank over there. Fat Frank is. I don't rate him, to be honest with you. I really don't rate him. I didn't rate him at Chelsea as a manager. I know Chelsea's a big club, and it was too big for him too quickly. The amount of money that was spent, the players that were brought in, and then the play style that came out of that. Now we see Everton, and Everton losing the likes of Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin being quite injury prone as well, quite badly injury prone, to be honest with you. I don't know. I think if Fat Frank makes it till the end of the season, I agree. I think Everton might go down. I don't know yet. We'll see. Maybe he can better it, but I don't know. I think it's a bit dodgy over there. Old Pope, foot goalkeeper. Yeah, Pope was a legend in Ultimate Team. What 2 seasons ago? Just the height and the bold and everything. Just brilliant keeper. And I think he's a really good keeper in real life world, a real world as well. I do think so. But yeah, I don't know, the obsession with Ramsdale in goal for. I understand he's young and he's the future what they're seeing, but I think he needs to tone down on the arrogance a little bit. To be honest, it's just my opinion. I know everyone's entitled to an opinion, so if you don't agree with me, all good. But yeah, you got Ali as yours. Ali. Oh, Alisson. I had what was he, a 90, what was his team of the season? Is it a 94 or 96 rated keeper? I had him for a while, but I've changed up my team quite a bit now. My ultimate team. I haven't played for about a week or so, but I've changed mine up a little bit now, and I think I've popped Donnarumma team of the season in goal. He's pretty good. He's got long arms and he's young. Romelu Lukaku. You know what? The thing with Lukaku is again, Nunes, 95, Ali. Nunes is actually very similar to Lukaku. His first touch is not fantastic, but his finishing is ridiculously good. Lukaku was obviously, he's been in and around the Prem for a long time. He was judged at Chelsea for his poor touch. He went over to Italy. He killed it in Italy. Came to he came to United. His first touch was again under microscope, and then moved over Italy. Came back to Chelsea. Was under a microscope again. I mean, just because he's moved to Italy doesn't make his first touch any better. But the Oak is a finisher. If you provide, he's going to finish. The same as Nunes. Nunes might miss 1 or 2 a game, but he's going to finish because he's going to get the chances created by the players around him. So it's an interesting thing. But Lukaku, his first touch was pretty horrific. But my goodness, could he finish? Let's be real. Messi shapeshifter for your striker. You damn lucky. Either if you packed him, that's fantastic. Congrats. What's he? He's 99 rated, shapeshifter card, if I'm not mistaken. I packed Ronaldo the other day. His team of, I think it was team of the season or something along those lines, 97 rated, or team of the year or something along those lines. I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, packed Ronaldo the other day, which is fantastic because he's just a beast in the game, I must say. To sell mid Van der Sar for Messi. Well, don't worry, I've had to use Neto a few times. 82 rated Barca goalkeeper that's obviously now at Bournemouth. I've had to use him a few times because I sell my keepers in order to generate funds and whatnot. Oh, Lineker. Yeah, Lineker's never really been a fantastic icon to have, to be honest with you. Okay, he's okay, but all right. Rashford shapeshifter striker on my team. Good lord, how much is that card worth? I think it's, well, when it came out, it was a couple of mil. I think, what's it now? Probably 600,000-700,000 for that card. Crazy good card. Rashford's always brilliant. This is the thing that makes people mad about FIFA. And I know FIFA is just a game and it's supposed to be enjoyed, but you know, on FUT, Rashford has done squat for the better part of a full season. So why is he getting special cards? He's getting special cards because the guys at EA have their special players. I mean, it's the same with Mendy, left back from Real Madrid. That man will always, no matter what, he will always get a special card. It's just a thing. Rashford's another one. He will just always get a special card. It doesn't matter. CDM Moments Gattuso. I haven't tried him out. What's he like? Oh, we've got a fantastic finish there. Drifting in, we've got ex-Man United boy Dan James. He could not finish like that for Man United. Let me tell you something. Drifting in from the right wing and finishes with the left foot shot into the top right of the goalkeeper's net. Fantastic finish that, actually. Jeez, like, absolutely brilliant shot. I must have a look at some of these defenders in this game after this one because I am looking for a defensive replacement for Ben White at this present point in time. But yeah, what's Gattuso is bad in some stats. Yeah, look, the one player that I've always thoroughly enjoyed in FIFA is Seedorf. I've always enjoyed Seedorf's cards. Like, no matter what, it's just like a thing that I have to do. So I was actually thinking to myself the other day, I need to go and just pick up one of his cards. Just play him in that cam role and just watch the man shine. Because, I don't know, he's just a fantastic player. And then I completed that Gareth Bale 98 SPC. I had cards and all of that stuff. So, Ollie, Mitrovic going to get another brace this weekend. Well, you know what? If he does get another brace, I hope, because we're about to play the next game, which is going to be Wolves and Fulham. I hope that he does extremely well. We can get into our FPL, our FIFA-backed FPL team, and he can go and get his brace. Yeah, captain him. Ollie on the captain for Mitrovic, trying to lower the stats on captaining captaining the likes of Haaland and Salah. So best pack, Ruben Diaz, team of the year. Not a bad pack to pick, to be honest. Yeah, not bad at all. Unless it's the I get confused with team of the season, team of the year. There's so many of these things. Unless it's that 95 rated one, which is only worth like, I don't know, 40k now, then no, that was not a great pack, to be honest with you. I have to admit that. So this game ended 1-0. I'm just waiting for the final stats to crop up over here. Prime R9. Jeez, like it. History, either you've got some severe pack luck or your credit card is crying in the wings over there. I don't know which one it is. I'm hoping that you've got crazy pack luck. But yeah, thanks for the sub there, Ollie. Appreciate it, man. We're trying to get to the 600 subs, so if you guys are on the stream and you wouldn't mind sharing it out to your mates, really appreciate it. We are just trying to get through. I think we were on 596 subs this evening, so we are trying to push our way through to the 600. So appreciate it, all of it. Good in the bank. I just used some coins. That's a 599. Come on, boys. Come on. Let's go. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. And then don't forget, guys, I don't know if any of you are new around here, but we actually do run a football prediction site, which is completely free as well and available 24/7. It is predict-heroes.com. You guys are welcome to go and check it out if you have some time. Basically, we've got all of your predictions up daily for all of the games, where, you know, we predict the different outcomes, score lines, etc. For the games for the next 5 days ahead. We are on TikTok. I think we got quite a lot of followers on TikTok. I think about 18,000 on TikTok. But we are trying to migrate over to YouTube and create this channel where we do the watch-alongs weekly, as many games as we possibly can. And then we're obviously doing the streams in order for our FPL team. So thanks for joining us. We really, really do appreciate all of the support. Cannot do it without you guys. Just marking down some of the stats over here. So in terms, goalkeeper did well, 7.9, but I can't take the goalkeeper. As I said, we're not going to be swapping goalkeepers until we do the wild card. But Rodrigo coming in, not too bad, with a 7.7. I'm just going to take that down. It's not going to be good enough to pop anybody else out of the squad. But let's just quickly go and have a look. I doubt Southampton's going to have anything for us in this game. Absolutely nothing. I'm not even going to bother taking any of these teams down. Let's go and check out Mitrovic in the next game up against Wolves. This is going to be this next one's going to be a bang. I'm just having a quick look here. So I do have Andreas from Fulham. And let's go and have a quick squiz at our team. I just want to update Greenwood here. He didn't play. Sam Greenwood didn't play. So he got a 0 rating over there. Obviously, he's just one of my bench fillers so that we don't use too much budget everywhere on the pitch. So let's just quickly go and check how our team is currently looking. So we do have a couple more players still to play. We've got Robertson, we've got Dallo, we've got Salah, Andreas, Son, Lingard, Kane, still all to come. So a lot of our players still to come over. Yeah. Right, Robert Rodrigo was the starter pack thing I got in for 22 back at the start. Spurs against Everton. Yeah. All right, so let's jump over. Our next game is Wolves and Fulham. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more games to go this evening. I might end up, because this has been a pretty long one, I think what we might end up doing, let's keep going and see how we go for the next couple of games. And then we will see how that goes. Right, Wolves versus Fulham. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just kick open the game again, open FIFA again. For some of the reason, I'm not able to skip any of the intros and things like that. I'm not exactly sure why that is happening. So I'm just going to quickly kick open the game again while we chat in the background over here. Kane has his own accent. It's like when it's like when there's a couple of the guys in Merseyside that open up their mouths and chat. It's Gerard as well. Gerard, his accent's so thick sometimes you literally have to sit and listen to try and hear exactly what the Oaks are saying. Harry Kane's the same. He always sounds like he's talking with his nose blocked. It's absolutely crazy. Ollie Watkins. So I've got Watkins in my team, and he got a 7.2 rating. wasn't fantastic. But I love the Oak in terms of real life performances and things like that. I'm a huge fan of Watkins. His movement is insane. I really do enjoy watching him play. So yeah, I know. It was actually crazy that I don't think it was like common knowledge that people knew that Roy Keane kind of ended Erling Haaland's dad's career. Technically, I think I think there were a lot of people that that were in and around that obviously did know about it, but I don't think it was like mainstream knowledge to know that that Roy Keane kind of wrecked Alfie Haaland's knee. That was absolutely crazy. But anyway, I mean, he kicked Keane first, so what's Roy Keane gonna do? Brentford versus United. Looking forward to that match. Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm actually going to be at the rugby this weekend. I'm going to go and watch the Springboks versus the All Blacks. So I'm actually going to be missing the United game because it's on around the same time. So I'll just be keeping it on my phone. Signal's always not great within stadiums, but maybe I'll avoid misery. Who knows? Obviously, I'm hoping for a United win, naturally, as you would. But and I'm hoping that they play well. That's the most important thing, actually. Okay, so I'm going to kick open. I'm going to swap the screen back to our Wolves game and just sort of see how we do go. Yeah. Right. I'm hopeful that I can now skip some of the outcomes. I don't actually know why this is happening. So what I think we'll do is we'll run a couple more games over here, but obviously this does delay some of the things, so I might just run some of the rest of the games tomorrow night. But we'll have a look and see how the game goes. Obviously the games do start on Saturday, so I do have some time tomorrow, but obviously without being able to skip some of these things, it takes a bit of time. Zane, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm actually thinking of I might just run this as my last game for the evening, and then I'm going to maybe run the Brentford United, Forest West Ham, Chelsea Tot, and Liverpool Palace games tomorrow evening. I'll get it all sorted as to why I can't skip the cutscene so that the games can speed up that little bit more. So yeah, so I'll definitely be on tomorrow, but thank you so much for joining in the chat. It was lovely to have you, and great to meet you. Kanye got Prime Moore and Diaz. Yes. History, you need to drop us a. Let's actually send your name, and I will add you as a friend on PS, and then we must definitely jam some games of Ultimate Team. Just have some fun. We'll pop it up on stream. Maybe have a session where we get a couple of the guys in the chat. We can play against each other. Maybe put together a little tournament one evening when we're all bored. And you're on Xbox side, okay, no problem. Sorry, I'm on PlayStation side. So until EA decides that we can all play together, then is what it is. But I'm sure we'll organize something. We'll organize something. Somehow we will find a way. All right, so I see Wolves are up against Fulham. I do see that with the cross-platform that PC will be able to join Xbox and things like that. So I might actually end up doing that. FIFA's really good on PC, I must say, because you've got all the guys doing the mods in terms of gameplay, sort of new squads, updated squads, putting the new kits in. So you can actually see here we're running FIFA 22, but with the brand new kits for FIFA 23, because the guys just mod them. They've designed the kits and things like that. So FIFA on the PC is actually really cool. It's just Ultimate Team is not good because of the the transfer market's just not big enough, unfortunately. So we got our first corner in this game. It is Wolves. Babel Campbell, such a waste. You know, I haven't done one single icon pack. Not one single icon pack this entire foot. But then again, I didn't actually play FUT until the end of sort of maybe April. I started playing FUT when like players were affordable and things like that, so I didn't have to grind so much because we were actually playing so much pro clubs. I love pro clubs. I know I mentioned it earlier, but I'm a huge pro clubs fan. I think it's definitely the best mode, multiplayer mode in FIFA. So I was grinding pro clubs. I've played, I think, over 1,000 games of pro clubs this FIFA. Most I've ever played, but thoroughly love it. So I was grinding that more than Ultimate Team, and I'll probably do the same next FIFA as well. But yeah, I don't know if you remember. I think it was FIFA. I'm trying to think now. FIFA 19. We had the icon SBCs where some of the SBCs you used to have to put some of the like an icon in to some of the bigger icons. So like if you wanted to do Eusebio, for example, you had to put an icon card in as an SBC in order to like get Eusebio. So there you could have used your baby Campbell for those sorts of things, but I don't think they've got it this FIFA. Like I said, I haven't played a lot of FUT, so I might be wrong, but I know that they did have that in 19. So Bobby Moore. All right, so this game we're 26 minutes in, Wolves Fulham. So I think this will be the last game that we'll stream tonight. It has been a very long stream, and we still have quite a lot of games to get through, but unfortunately without being able to kill off the cut screens, it does drag the games out a lot. But I've thoroughly enjoyed tonight so far. Appreciate you guys in the chat keeping things running over here. We do obviously have a lot of the big games left, but so far we've got quite a few of our players still with question marks over their ratings, but we will finish all of them up tomorrow evening. But having a look at this game, Wolves Fulham, I do have Andreas in my team from here. I don't have any Wolves players, however, so a lot of my players that are left, and we've just actually had a Wolves goal over here, and it looks like, who is that? Is that, oh, Gonzalo Guedes comes away with the goal. Is he not the new signing? I think he actually signed, was it this week? I think I might be wrong, but I'm just going to have a look. But what a finish there. Fantastic work by, who was that out on the right-hand side? That was brilliant work out on the right-hand side, but a fantastic finish there by Guedes in the middle of the box on the penalty spot. If you want to score a goal, hang around on the penalty spot. That's the way to go. But so far in this game, we do have Wolves up 1-0, 37 minutes gone. Wolves and Fulham up here. And Guedes on the ball again, playing in Moutinho Adama. But fantastic tackle there. Is Andreas on the pitch? I'm having a look. Here goes Mitrovic. What can Mitrovic do? Against Jose Sa, Mitrovic bangs it straight into Sa, and it stays 1-0 coming up to halftime. Fantastic save there by Sa. Maybe Pele as second striker. You've just got a full team. You've just got a stacked team. That's actually one player, I must say. In all my years of playing FUT, I've never actually had Pele. A couple of players that I've really enjoyed. I mentioned Seedorf earlier, one of my favorite players in FIFA. I don't know what it is about him, but just brilliant. Him, Corincha, right winger, Brazil, another player, awesome too, very fun to play with. We all know his backstory with the GOAT, very dodgy, but yeah, so there's a couple of really good players because I enjoy playing, a few different players. Not your normal players. And half the time, most of those players. I mean, the other player that I've never actually played with is oh my goodness, his name's just skipped my mind. 4-2-4 formation. I used 4-2-4 in, I think it was FIFA 19. I had old George Best out on right wing. I had who was my left winger? I remember 19 was my icon team. I just stacked up on icons. I remember I had Cruyff playing center forward. Yeah, 4-2-4 was a fantastic formation. Most of this FUT I've been playing the 4-1-2-1-2, the wide 4-1-2-1-2. I just love it's just players all the time as pass options. I have switched to the 3-5-2 formation because it's the meta. But it was when I played last, but every single time I go in, there's suddenly a new meta, so I need to now see. And there was a title update now the other day, so yeah, that should be interesting. Zlatan winter card. I haven't. What was that? The winter wild card one? I don't even know that card, to be honest with you. Like I said, I only really started playing FUT a couple of months ago, but this season's FUT. I ground out last season like crazy, and the season before that. But this one, I decided to grind pro clubs rather. I enjoyed FIFA this year over previous ones. Didn't have to rage at weekend league. Andreas Pereira, yeah. Andreas Pereira almost gets the shot away. That would have been fantastic. Flashback Neymar. Oh yeah, Neymar had that like young that young looking card, in this one. So but Neymar is just brilliant. Neymar, Mbappe, they FIFA players, they built for FIFA. I see Guedes is coming off for Jimenez here at the 66th minute after he scored his goal. So he may only end up on a rating maybe of 8.1, 8.2 if we're lucky. So I don't think it would be good enough to get Guedes into my team. But at this present point in time, Ben White with the lowest rating at 6.3. Serious under threat for relegation. We do have Andreas Pereira playing in this game, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does. And he has a chance. And what a finish. That was thunderous. Absolutely thunderous. I don't know who exactly that was that finish, but that was absolutely thunderous. Oh, Harry Wilson plummets that ball into the back of the net. I didn't even know Harry Wilson was here, but that's a bit of a surprise. Left back is Mid Ferdinand. Is he playing out of position, or is he mid a left back card? I know he did, but I'm also thinking potentially of Puyol. I know Puyol had a right back card over there, but I know a couple of the guys they're messing around. And I see now this new FIFA with the positions. Certain players are going to be migrated. So each player basically is going to have 2 or 3 positions that they can play in. So the likes of, let's say, Cancelo. Cancelo would basically be a left back, but he also can play in the right back position as well. So obviously with this FIFA, you could only change left backs to left wing back and left back. Whereas now this one, he's basically has the ability, because he can play on either side. Cancelo's card will be able to be a right back with a modifier from left back, or otherwise he might also have the opportunity to be a left winger or a left mid and a left back. So it's going to be very, very interesting. I do like that. I prefer what they're doing there, because there's so many times, like this FIFA, for example, where we've got a serious lack of French right backs, for example. You know, whereas now you may be able to have that modifier for maybe Ferland Mendy or whatever, having that modifier to basically play left or right back. So not all left backs going to be able to play right back, only certain ones of them. It's going to be player specific, but I really, really do like it. I think it's going to be a nice little change up that's going to make teams that much stronger. So Cancelo, great midfielder. I agree. You know, I had this funny, sneaky feeling when I saw he was given the number 7 jersey. I thought to myself, sure, are we suddenly going to see Cancelo? I mean, he plays up on the left wing anyway. I mean, he's so high up the pitch just because of Pep's way of playing. But funny enough, if you watched now the other day with the Man City game, instead of being so high up the pitch, Walker and what was his name? Walker and Cancelo were actually drifting infield, which was odd to see. But it then allowed for the likes of Grealish and that to basically play out on the outside. So they were sort of lapping on the inside over there and providing themselves as extra midfielders, which I thought was brilliant play. But yeah, Cancelo up at on the left wing side wouldn't be a bad shout. He's not a bad defender. I think he's better than Trent in defending. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he runs the season. All right, so see, this game has just... Yeah, no, Walker is fast, eh? I don't know after his injury how quick he is anymore. I didn't see too much of it the other day. But he used to be exceptionally fast. Walker was just insanely quick. Yeah, no, Trent is like second to none when it comes to what do you call it? In terms of creation of goals and things like that. But yeah, I think Cancelo's slightly better in the defensive. Ollie, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's been great to have you here. I appreciate it, and I hope to catch you for the watch along soon. Those are always a ton of fun. Always a ton of fun. So thanks so much for joining. Let me quickly grab these down over here. Okay, Wilson with a 7.9. It's not going to be enough to squeeze into the team. Shane Duffy, though, with a 7.2. That could be slightly problematic for me, to be honest with you. I would really not like Shane Duffy in my team, but if that is what the FIFA decides I should be having, then that's what I will end up having. Let me just get down Pereira here. Pereira with a 7.3. And let's just check here. Gonzalo Guedes with the 8.2. So that's actually pretty decent, but still not enough as a striker in order to squeeze his way into my team. Ruben Neves with a 7.8. I am going to take that down. Neves with a 7.8. It's probably not going to be enough to get into the squad, but definitely room for improvement over there. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to just update our team with the latest, which was Andreas over here with a 7.3 on Andreas over here. So we still obviously do have a lot of players still to play, but those will be done then tomorrow night. I'll get the cutscene sorted out as to why we could not. Let's just jump back to the team reveal. So far, this is kind of where we're at in terms of our ratings for this evening. In terms of goalkeeper, we are definitely going to have Ward as the starter for our team over here, which is quite a surprise over Pickford. In terms of the defensive line, we do have Diaz definitely starting. Didn't do so well, 6.6 rating. But Ben White, so far, our worst player with a 6.3. So he's under definite threat for replacement. Andreas doing well with a 7.3. Actually, our best player of tonight so far, 7.3. Starting ahead of Bailey at 6.8. Watkins a 7.2. And obviously Patterson and Greenwood with the zeros. But these guys just sit on the bench. They minimum cost, so they're not a problem. We do have 1.5 in the bank. So obviously we do have Robertson still to play, Dalot, Salah, Son, Lingard, and Kane still to play. I think if anybody, Lingard might be one under threat from White at the 6.3, depending on how Forest play against West Ham in tomorrow night's games. Dalot up against Brentford potentially could be a bit of a problem for Dalot to get less than White. But at the moment, White is under severe threat. And just having a look through, we did have Trippier as being the one that could potentially replace White, which is not a bad replacement. So, yeah. But this was an awful lot of fun. Thank you so much. History was fantastic to chat. Please do me a favor and keep on joining as you can. We will be doing a live watch along. I'll schedule the stream. We'll do a live watch along for the Chelsea-Tottenham game on Sunday, as well as the Liverpool game on Monday evening. I'll be out tomorrow on Saturday evening, so I won't be able to do the Man United game. But we will be back on Sunday for a blockbuster of Chelsea. And we will be back tomorrow to stream the rest of the games. We have Brentford, Man United, Forest, West Ham, Chelsea, Tottenham, and Liverpool Palace still to go tomorrow, where we will complete our FPL team that is driven by FIFA. And we'll see who our final transfers in will be. But saying that, I just want to say thank you so much to all of you that have joined History. It's been fantastic to chat. I really did enjoy it. Ollie, thank you so much for joining and coming across. It has been epic. Zane, thank you. I know you've already gone, but thank you so much again. Gentlemen, I am going to be calling it a night. Thank you very much and have a good one. Catch you tomorrow.